Well, Sandra, President Trump is now giving a dire warning to Iranian leadership, writing on Truth Social this morning that a massive armada is heading towards Iran and is ready to, quote, fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin is tracking the latest for us on this. And Jennifer, it sounds like Iranian leaders are now responding with their own warning. What can you tell us?
That's right, Bill. In fact, the rhetoric is getting increasingly heated from the leaders in Iran. We have a statement from one of those leaders in which he said that any U.S. strike would be met with an immediate response, unprecedented, he described. We also heard from Iran's foreign minister that the armed forces in Iran have their fingers on the trigger, and the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei himself said that any illusion that any U.S. strikes would be limited is an illusion at that. The president, however, is deploying a clear carrot and stick strategy toward Iran. The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group is now in CENTCOM control with its 3 guided missile destroyers and dozens of combat aircraft, including stealth F-35 fighter jets and F-A-18 fighter jets, and literally hundreds of Tomahawk cruise missiles capable of reaching Iranian targets. President Trump also offering an olive branch.
There's another beautiful armada floating beautifully toward Iran right now. So we'll see. I hope they make a deal. I hope they make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time they'd have a country.
The protests may have ebbed, but they will spark up again in the future because this regime, unless they are willing to change and or leave, have no way of addressing the legitimate and consistent complaints of the people of Iran who deserve better.
The U.S. Air Force is running regional military exercises this week to signal readiness. Officials see a real chance President Trump acts, but an equal chance Iran blinks.
He's setting the theater in a way that gives him lots of options in the near term and probably even for a little bit of a longer runway looking out into the future. So if tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now there were a strike on Iran by the United States or in concert with others, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
I think if you are the Ayatollah and you look at the military buildup in the region, he has to wonder whether he will suffer the same fate as Maduro or something worse if he doesn't come to the negotiating table.
Iran's ambassador to the UN responded. Last time the U.S. blundered into wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, it squandered over $7 trillion and lost more than 7,000 American lives. Iran stands ready for dialogue based on mutual respect and interest, but if pushed, it will defend itself and respond like never before. Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, Bill said publicly it would not let anyone use its bases to attack Iran. Bill?
Yeah, at this point, Iran has to know the president is not bluffing. Jennifer Griffin, live here in Washington. Jen, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.